Hello, everyone. Hopefully, everyone's having a fantastic day wherever you are around the world, and welcome back to the Cop Council. Hopefully, like I said, everyone is doing well. Hopefully, everyone's on a fantastic day. And yeah, as you can see by the thumbnail and the title, it does look like that Ruben Amorim to Liverpool will not go ahead. We'll be speaking more about it in the video, of course. Obviously, we'll be speaking about why he's not potentially coming towards Liverpool. It could be the case where he does potentially go to another Premier League club, as you can see by obviously the title and the thumbnail as well. So again, let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments. Who do Liverpool get next? Because I think it's probably up for debate and up for obviously wild speculation. I think on who could become the next Liverpool manager in that sense anyway. But again, let me know how all of you are in the comments as well. Red Machine says yo as well. Big up to Red Machine as well. Let me quickly either Ricky or Lucas, but also likely Luke, saying, bring me Jose. No, thank you. Really, no, thank you. Really don't want Jose Mourinho as the next Liverpool manager. But let's bring up the Ornstein post then, as you can see. But of course, exclusive. West Ham are in talks over an ambitious move for Ruben Amorim. If David Moyes goes, Julian Lopetegui also assessed, but Amorim currently top target. West Ham United said to appeal, but unclear where they will sit among the 39-year-old options. Liverpool look unlikely, which again is a huge news in that sense as well. For Liverpool, of course, we've been linked with Amorim for so long. I think, of course, Xabi Alonso helped with that rumour mill in terms of, again, who could be the next Liverpool manager. Would it be Alonso? Would it be Amorim? With that, of course, and then when Alonso did go, obviously we knew that Amorim would very much be, the number one target for Liverpool. Hang on a minute, chat. Let me turn my fan off because I forgot it was on. But we knew that Liverpool, we had some sort of idea what Liverpool's targets would be, and Amorim made sense. He made clear and obvious sense why Liverpool would go for him, and now it does offer up a question of, where do we go from here? Because Amorim did seem, well, obviously Alonso seemed the number one, then it was Amorim that made so much sense, and now, who do Liverpool go for? Because there is a clear drop-off from Amorim, I believe anyway, from the rest of the field as well. Fabrizio Romano as well also said this on Twitter as well, saying Ruben Amorim and Liverpool never had an agreement agreement done or sealed. Talks took place as candidate on club's list, but it wasn't agreed. West Ham approached Amorim as called by David Ornstein. Nothing done dash agreed also in this case. Contacts with Liverpool in standby at this moment. So again, with that, the realms of possibilities could still be there for Liverpool. Of course, with this could be another Dominic Szoboszlai situation that has the hope there in terms of, again, David Ornstein did say back, I think the week before we put the bid in for Dom, said the deal was, of course, highly unlikely due to a payment structure, and the deal itself was highly unlikely for Liverpool to do. And then, of course, the week went on, we signed Dominic Szoboszlai, and then, of course, that's great in that sense. Could this be another ploy by Liverpool? Could it be a ploy from Michael Edwards, Richard Hughes, FSG? Could it be a massive ploy to bring West Ham into the fold and then Liverpool, make their move? I'm not so sure with that. Of course, I think that's, hope, more hope than realistic in that sense as well. But again, it's a real shame because I did think Amorim would have been perfect for Liverpool. the idea of Ruben Amorim becoming Liverpool manager made a lot of sense to me personally. I don't know whether about you guys as well, but for me, it made a lot of sense for us to go for Ruben Amorim. But yeah, let me know your guys' thoughts. Anyway, in the comments as well, Alan saying no as well. Kind of nobody wants to be the first manager after Klopp. Yeah, and this is the thing where it's necessary, you know. To be fair to Amorim, it doesn't look like Amorim's rejected Liverpool, unlike what happened with Alonso, where Alonso rejected Liverpool. It very much seems to be the case that Liverpool have looked elsewhere, where it does come to the potential new manager. And I will quickly get the betting odds up as well, because, of course, there's obviously a few shock names that's obviously being linked, as you can see, but there, Ruben Amorim is currently still the number one pick there, but of course number two, and who it probably will most likely be now, is Arne Slot, I think his name is, at 3-1. Of course, the Feyenoord manager. He's gone on to win the league with Feyenoord. Of course, I think recently as well they won a cup as well. So, and you know, looking at, I think his, like, obviously I've glanced over you know, the teams that were linked with him. I think Spurs were even linked with him 12 months ago when they were looking for a new manager. And of course, he rejected Spurs, stayed at Feyenoord. And when you do look at it, when look what they're doing in the league, I think they're second at the minute in the Eredivisie. So maybe that's the guy that Liverpool wants. You know, we've said and we've heard that FSG and the whole board are looking for a manager away from Jurgen Klopp's side of football. But like, I thought that was Ruben Amorim. It was similar to what we do currently have, but it would be in a different style. It would be in a 3-4-3. It would be more structured in that sense as well than organized chaos. Now, I'm not too sure with this, with that manager from Feyenoord. I think he prefers a 4-2-3-1. That's similar to what we kind of got right now. Could he be the next Liverpool manager? I'm not so sure. Obviously, I've seen suggestions and obviously shouts of Jose Mourinho coming for a year and then going for Alonso. For me personally, no. Keep him far away from the football club. In Jose Mourinho personally, I know plenty of people would want him as the next Liverpool manager. And look, that some people might like that. Some people may go, yep, 100%, I want that. I want Jose Mourinho to be the next Liverpool manager. For me, just keep firm away from him. But yeah, again, let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments. Amorim was caught going on a plane. Yes, he was. I'm trying to get that image up if I can find it. Yes, the plane was provided by West Ham. So not really great in that sense neither. What about Hansi Flick? Obviously free. He is an option, but I don't think he's on Liverpool's list, if I'm being honest, Zane. Still trust in Michael Edwards. Yeah, and look, we have to. Realistically, we have to stay, confident in Michael Edwards and confident in the board and what they're going to do. But, looking at it, it's not great, is it? When our first two choices have practically now gone down the drain. But yeah, it's very, very strange situation Liverpool find themselves in. So to be fair, it could go well, it could go bad for what happens from now till, again, we find out who the next manager is going to be. But still, it's not great news, is it, realistically, that Liverpool, still looking without a manager. And also, the first two choices are now looking like they're not going to be the Liverpool manager. Anyway, I'm going to quickly find the Ruben Amorim photo for you guys. That he's currently on a plane with his agent. So there we go. Where can I get that up? There we go. So if I can quickly get this up on Twitter for you guys. There we go. So as you can see, but they, of course, obviously taken from that Pedro that we talked a couple of days ago, or a couple of weeks ago, that, of course, Liverpool were going to Of course, as he says, but they supposedly he's meant to be having a meeting with Liverpool and West Ham, but West Ham have provided the flight. They, of course, that's Ruben Amorim with his agent, of course, obviously the agency as well. Obviously, I think him and Luis Diaz have the same agency as well. And I think everyone thought that that would close the deal in that sense as well. But, it seems to be that's not the case. Neither. And, I just personally don't get why we haven't gone with Amorim. I could understand it if there was a clear option elsewhere. But, I don't know. For me personally, I think there's a drop-off. I think Alonso and Amorim were the next best things going to come through. And then, of course, nothing's to say that even if we took Amorim, Amorim would work. But I felt like Amorim was the plan A all along. When Alonso didn't go quite right, Amorim did feel right. And now, now it looks like we're going to be with that on Slot as well. I think Arnie Slot is it as well, but definitely not Eredivisie, a rubbish league as well, says Red Machine. Thomas Tuchel could be an option that I wouldn't mind. Julian Nagelsmann would have been an option for me if he hadn't signed that deal with Germany. I thought if it wasn't going to be if it wasn't going to be Amorim, then Nagelsmann. I wouldn't have minded Nagelsmann personally, but Ramos saying Mourinho at Liverpool game. Then this happens. Yeah, not the best, is it, when that happens? But there's no way he's joining Liverpool. I'd be massively surprised if he did join Liverpool anyway. But again, I just think though when we do look at it though, and obviously whoever comes in, of course they'll have the full backing and they'll have the full support of the fans, and having and looking at it and looking at an outside perspective as well on everything, it very much feels like Liverpool, if Edwards and Hughes are going to go data driven, then they'll get it right. But there's also that sense of as well, Edwards has apparently been a fan of Amorim. He's a fan of, I think, De Zerbi as well. I think Richard Hughes is also a huge fan of De Zerbi. Now, De Zerbi supposedly has been rolled out. But with now Amorim not come in, does that mean that, even if the Vinod manager doesn't accept, does that mean De Zerbi's back in the race for that as well? I'm not entirely sure. But it would be interesting to know what Liverpool are doing. But Alejandro's in as well, saying the situation is officially bad now. Amorim should be him. Tuchel and Mourinho are going to derail our academy and process so far. I prefer Thomas Frank to these guys, but I don't want him either. Yeah, 100%. And as you said, on Slot, we just don't know stuff about him to have an opinion. I feel, 100%. Again, I've seen like a page about him, and that's it. I'm not I'm not an Eredivisie watcher. I'm not. I think plenty of us as well are not, keen, Eredivisie watchers in that sense. We'll watch, bits and pieces now and again if we're linked with anyone. But to say, I'm an out-and-out Eredivisie watcher and I watch every single game of Vinod's, I can't say that, and I can't suggest that neither. But again, if the data is saying that he should be the next Liverpool manager, then I'm not against it, if that makes sense. But the data doesn't. The data is more towards Ruben Amorim. So why is Ruben Amorim not being considered by Liverpool? What has happened from a couple of weeks ago that, again, there's apparently been not a meeting, but there's been some sort of a decision that's been made about him, which does feel a bit weird as well. But the same thing, here's a name out there, Xavi Hernandez. Yeah, could be an option. Again, I would think that he would definitely not be a manager for a while, considering, again, him speaking about Barcelona and that stuff as well, to be fair. But again, it's another name out there. If we take a go back onto the list in terms of the odds and the betting odds for the next Liverpool manager. You've got Amorim, you've got Slot, Zerbi, Nagelsmann, Pep Linders is also again there. That could be another option in there. Gary O'Neill is also another one that you could potentially look at. Thomas Tuchel, Unai Emery as well. He is definitely an option that could be considered. And Eddie Howe, I don't think will be there, to be awfully honest with you. But when you do look at those names, again, De Zerbi's been ruled out, Nagelsmann has been ruled out, Linders has been ruled out, Mourinho I wouldn't have, Gary O'Neill I wouldn't have, Thomas Tuchel I wouldn't have, Unai Emery potentially, you could have in that, but I do look at this list and I'm like, the majority of them you can easily rule out because either they've been linked, away, or they've already been ruled out of the process, or they're unavailable in that sense of, again, look at Julian Nagelsmann. He's just signed a new deal with Germany. Of course, Bayern Munich wanted him as their manager. Of course, I think they got a kick in the teeth to the fact that they couldn't get him. And even for Liverpool now, when you do look at it, there's always the hope that Amorim could be a U-turn, and it could be a little bit of putting it out there in the media that, unlikely that he goes to Liverpool, but and there's always a but that it could be there. But when you're hearing stuff of West Ham have sent a plane to go and speak to him, and when you hear of rumors that David Moyes is definitely leaving at the end of the season, that's huge. And just to even speak about the West Ham side of things, not even the Liverpool side of things, when it comes to Ruben Amorim, that would be one hell of an appointment for West Ham. And people talk about the progression, and people will speak about, but we want, we're happy with David Moyes, but we want to go to that next level. Ruben Amorim could take West Ham to that next level. It may take longer than what it would do at Liverpool, but with the team that they have behind the scenes, with the manager in Ruben Amorim and the progress that he could potentially do, look at the players there, Jarrett Bowen, Kudos you've got as well. They already play a 3-4-3 in most games as well. Unlike Liverpool, where of course we play a 4-3-3, and that would take more time in learning and adapting as well. And for West Ham, West Ham fans are probably buzzing off of this. They're going to get a league-winning manager in Ruben Amorim, and that for me, for us to lose out to West Ham is huge. It is huge in that sense. And of course, is that an Amorim thing? Is that a Liverpool thing in saying, like, we'll let him go? We won't stand in your way, and we'll go for someone else. What is that in that sense? But if Liverpool have done that, then that's an absolute disgrace from Liverpool. And we should be getting our number one target, which is Ruben Amorim. And again, obviously, there's plenty of people as well that's also been mentioned. I believe that Thiago Motta has been mentioned. I think the Stuttgart manager as well has also been spoken about. So, big names around. But whether or not Liverpool will look abroad, who knows? But again, let me know your guys' thoughts. Alejandro saying, yeah, I can't think of anyone either. Thiago Motta at Bologna will get Champions League football next season probably, but he has been managing for a single season. Yeah, it would be a risk, be a massive risk. But Unai Emery, I wouldn't have. He's only successful at lower clubs like Villarreal, and now at Villa, because bigger clubs like Arsenal and PSG, he's failed at. True, that is very, very true. I think Arsenal, though, he deserved more time at Arsenal, and given more resources, I do think as well. But Amorim going to West Ham, if that happens instead of Liverpool, that's just madness, says Alejandro. Yeah, 100%, mate. We have an academy full of talent at the minute. West Ham have Kudos and Bowen, and Paqueta going to City, probably. Yeah, he is most likely to go to City, but again, it's all about what fits Amorim. Amorim, there could even be it could even be the option there that he might stay at Porto, but Sporting, sorry, not Porto. But there's actually something there as well. Graham Bailey is also reporting that that apparently David Sullivan has been told that Ruben Amorim would accept the West Ham job if it was offered to him as well. So again, get to manage in the Premier League is huge. It's really, really huge. And for us, it's just disappointing why Liverpool are not pursuing Ruben Amorim. There must be a reason there. But again, just looking at a photo now of the last time Liverpool looking for a manager, you had Jurgen Klopp, obviously outright favourite, Carlo Ancelotti. If Ancelotti was available, you go and get him. I know he managed the blue shite, but still, you go and get the best man out there, and that is Ancelotti. But again, looking at those betting odds, it's not good. And looking at who is available, it's still not good in that sense as well. I'm just going to quickly bring up this post as well from who's this from? From Dan Stelton, I think it is. Quickly get that up. Of course, it's just echoing David Ornstein's words. Of course, it says the Sporting Lisbon manager has travelled to London to hold further talks with West Ham. David Moyes is out of contract in the summer, and West Ham are exploring alternatives as well. Obviously, come from David Ornstein as well. And of course, it would be huge for them. It would be absolutely huge for West Ham United to get a manager of Ruben Amorim. 100% it would. But again, if Liverpool don't get him and Liverpool gets, I did joke, that Roy Hodgson is available in the summer as well. But look, it would be an absolute mess. Liverpool are in a mess right now anyway. But apologies, Hannah. I don't think I saw your comments. Evening. Anna saying evening all. I honestly cannot think of one person to be the next manager. Can we ask Jurgen to stay? Can we ask Jurgen Klopp to change his mind? It'd be very much appreciated if he could change it as well. But Zane saying maybe the Liverpool job is too big for him and West Ham would be an easier step up. Potentially. There's of course always that. You may look at that Liverpool project and go, you know what, I don't really fancy it. And a lot of managers may feel like that. But I feel like if you're going to be the top coach at some way, or you want to be the top coach, you go and do it at Liverpool. Like Liverpool, one of the best teams in Europe, one of the most established teams in Europe, the biggest team in England. You'd want that as a manager. And if you don't, then you're not good enough. I would think anyway, but still, what do I know? But Avenger saying, what about the Porto manager as a wild card? Potentially. Again, I wouldn't know too much about his style. Obviously, with Amorim, of course, a lot of research done, but it could be something there for Liverpool. Anyone after Alonso and Amorim is a disappointment to the fan base. Yeah, true, 100%. But again, you have to support whoever comes in. It might not be the best person out there to go and get, but it might be. Whoever comes in may take us to that next level. Who knows? But it could also work elsewhere. But you have to support that. You have to be willing to support the guy, because again, if the person comes in and it doesn't have support of the fan base, again, what's the point? What's the point in them coming in as well? But not just the size of the club, but filling Klopp's shoes is a big ask. True, but I feel like if you're a top manager, you should be able to do it. But I'm the only one that thinks it's just Amorim's side going to West Ham in an attempt to put pressure on Liverpool to provide a better contract terms. Find it weird that we were offering him a 3-year deal. Well, that was coming from that Portuguese reporter, wasn't it? Of course, we did a video on it, speaking about it. And supposedly Liverpool have spoken to Amorim's agent, not Amorim himself. This looks to be Amorim is speaking to West Ham. Of course, Liverpool have offices in London, which again could happen. Liverpool could potentially be holding face-to-face conversations with it. But if the plane is being supported by West Ham, he's going to West Ham. Again, David Moyes might turn around and say, look, I'm going to stay. And then they may just, go, no, thank you for that. We're going to, stay with David Moyes. But realistically, if a manager and his agent are flying to West Ham, if they're flying to London to speak in person about a contract, then that's a very big thing. It's a very, very big thing. You don't do that unless there's something there as well. But again, if Liverpool are there, if Liverpool are in contact, then hopefully we can convince him to turn around, or we can get a move on in that sense as well. But Eddie Howe, no chance, absolutely no chance. I want Eddie Howe at Liverpool. We probably effed it up again with being stringy. That's my assessment at the minute, at least as well. Yeah, it could be. Again, it could be a financial matter. Again, we don't know, and until we know more about why Amorim is not going to be a Liverpool manager, or if there's a Paul Joyce or a David Lynch or someone who comes out from the club and says this is the reason why we haven't gone with Amorim, then we don't know until then. Well, of course, it's just all speculation at this point as well. But for me, chat, I don't know who Liverpool go with personally. I think I can't even say there's an outright favourite from Ruben Amorim. Neither. I can't turn around and say, yeah, Liverpool are 100% going to go for this guy, because again, there's no one at the minute that is the outstanding candidate from that. Of course, that Vinod manager, he is there, of course, but it's also it's also something when you think about it and you think, wow, like why have Liverpool gone away from it as well? But apparently reports in Portugal as well that West Ham's offer, it's considerably higher in wages to Ruben Amorim than Liverpool's. So if that is the case, it's not great either. If that is the case, I've just seen that now. But oh wait, I was thinking of Graham Potter. Jeez, I don't want him neither, to be fair. But I'd like Eddie Howe for England job, but I don't think he has the aura to take the Liverpool job as well. I don't want Eddie Howe, or I don't want Graham Potter. To be fair, Alejandro, I would very much like. For me, I would like Nagelsmann. If it's not going to be Amorim, I would have loved it to have been Nagelsmann personally. But again, obviously that's not going to happen. So who knows who we're going to really get anyway. But John's in saying, high thoughts on Owen Beck getting into the Scottish Team of the Year. Great achievement. 100%. Wonderful achievement for him. Probably will get a big move next summer if he doesn't stay at Liverpool, depending on who the manager is. I think if Jurgen Klopp was the manager, we may saw Owen Beck get a few minutes next season, but yeah, hopefully we do get to see him next season. But he's done really well in the Scottish League as well, and hopefully he keeps the form up as well. But James is then saying, what's these Jose rumours? For the love of God, not him. Yeah, 100%, James. I can't see him. Personally, I can't see him joining Liverpool. There's no chance at all for me that he joins Liverpool. Look, and I said this to a few people, if it was Jose Mourinho 10 years ago, or even a bit longer than that, you'd say yes, 100%, you'd jump at the chance. Jose Mourinho now, no. You stay well clear of that. But yeah, if Liverpool was to do that, it would be horrendous. It would be horrendous. But it's definitely the tea lady, 100%. But what is your team for the Merseyside derby? I'm doing a show tomorrow, John, on that. Obviously, Everton preview is tomorrow. But yeah, people are just going wild on the Jose rumours. Edwards coming back only to appoint Mourinho as a manager is just, yeah, 100%. They can't even imagine him as well, but I agree, mate. Yeah, I can't imagine it. Him being the next Liverpool manager anyway. But I am going to leave it there for tonight, guys, anyway. A big thank you to all of you guys. It was only a short show as well, but just to quickly go through everything that we have said so far. Let me quickly get the things back up from Ornstein for you guys. 2 seconds. Where is it gone? There it is. So if anyone's just tuning in and anyone's just wondering what I'm going on about, so we had this tweet from David Ornstein saying West Ham in talks of over an ambitious move for Ruben Amorim. If David Moyes goes, Julian Lopetegui also assessed, but Amorim currently top target. West Ham United said to appeal, but unclear where they sit among the 39-year-old's options. Liverpool looks unlikely at the current stage as well, which again isn't great when you read that either. And when if I quickly go back and get Fabrizio Romano's tweet as well from earlier on, where we by. There we go. So it says by Ruben Amorim and Liverpool never had an agreement done or sealed. Talks took place as candidate as a club's list, but it wasn't agreed. West Ham approached Amorim as called by David Ornstein. Nothing done that's agreed yet is also the case. Contacts with Liverpool in standby at this stage as well. So again, not the best news for Liverpool. And of course, we'll have more as soon as we know more about it, of course, as well. For me personally, I don't know who's going to be the next manager. It does look like that slot from Vinod is the favourite now. But again, who knows what's going to happen in that sense anyway. But Hannah says Jose was at the match yesterday, but apparently he goes to Fulham a lot. Nothing panic about there, in my opinion. Hopefully not anyway. But cheers, Connor, as well, says Alejandro. And Eddie Zins was like, Amorim going to London. Liverpool have offices in London too. Very true. It is very true. It could be the case. There are people reporting that he could also be going to Liverpool for face-to-face meetings. But again, West Ham have paid for his flight. They've paid for the private plane over from Sporting, or Lisbon, I should say, sorry, to, of course, London. And it does look like the Ruben Amorim is more leaning towards West Ham at the current stages of things as well. So hopefully we'll have some more news about that in the next couple of days anyway. And we'll find out probably, probably tomorrow that we'll find something out anyway. But if you're new around here, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Of course, hit the notification bell as well. If there is anything that does break tonight or tomorrow, we'll be live to speak about it as well. But yeah, hopefully we'll find out and find more clarity of who will be the next Liverpool manager, and find out what's happening with Ruben Amorim as well anyway. But like I said, if you're new around here, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button anyway, guys. It's very much appreciated as always. But I've been Connor from the COP Council. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Ta-ra.